Hey folks, Duff here, doing the Parashah for April 18th, 2020. Now, this is about the Ark of the Covenant being brought back into Jerusalem. And we have our main body here, basically chapter 9 of Leviticus, to the very last sentence of chapter 11, which is the death of Aaron's sons. Because they offered strange fire. I have no idea what strange fire is, but I don't want to know. Alright, so, and they were consumed and they died. And then the main body is 2 Samuel 6. The ark is being brought back to Jerusalem. Alright, and then we have in Hebrews 7, where Jesus is compared to Melchizedek. Now that seems a little bit out of place, but it's actually about the Aaron, the priesthood of Aaron, and how it is not as holy or worthy as the priesthood of Melchizedek, those that are called by God and anointed, not just you're a priest because your daddy was a priest and you have no giftings and no anointing to even do such thing. So let's get a little history here. So before the ark, what actually happened is that Israel was being defeated by the Philistines. So they decided to take the Ark of the Covenant and use it like a lucky rabbit's foot or token or some kind of thing, and just parade the Ark and like, hey, we got the Ark, yeah. Even though we're like completely sinners and not even following the Lord. So the Philistines captured the ark. So they brought out the ark, and they said, hey, now we're going to defeat the Philistines because we got the ark, and what can they do? And the Philistines were afraid. All right? But the Philistine Lord says, hey, suck it up, go out there, and you die, but you're gonna fight him. You're gonna fight him, you're gonna be your slave. So they went out there and fought him. And then they defeated them. They defeated the Israelites. Now, what occurred here is that the Philistines were plagued. All right, and they decided we got to get this ark back. We just give it back to them. All right, and the lords of the Philistines were pretty smart. You think you're just like, a bunch of backwoods people, hillbilly people, not really too smart, but actually they're pretty clever. So what they actually did is said, hey, how do we know this isn't happenstance? Maybe this is, get mice and tumors and all kinds of things happen. Maybe it's just happened. Stuff happens, right? So let's prove it. Let's take 2 cows, which are in the process of giving milk. Basically, they just had a baby. We'll put the babies back in the corral, and we'll put the 2 mamas on a cart, and they've never been yoked. And we'll put the Ark of the Covenant there, and just in case it is the Lord, we'll put a token of our Havel Sar, which was golden tumors and golden mice. I'm not sure what a golden tumor looks like. And again, I don't want to know. But they put the golden tumors and golden mice, and they put them on a box next to the ark. They did not put it inside the ark. And I think I went 20 years thinking they put it inside the ark. I misread that, I was like, why didn't they die? They lifted the lid. They put the gold things in there. But apparently they put it in the box next to. Now this is pretty clever because most people would just be like, superstition, this, hey, their God is against us, whatever. But this is pretty smart. You take these cows and their babies are back there mooing, saying, hey, mommy, come feed me. Everything in the nature of that cow is to go that way. What do the cows do? They go that way, straight to Israel, to the nation of Israel. And so therefore, they knew, all right, this is not happenstance. All right. And then what happened? Then the men were happy. He's the very last sentence here, and they were joyful, and then like, yeah, this is great. All right. And then a whole bunch of them peeked and decided to lift it up the lid, and 50,000 died. And then we find out that it was the very last sentence here in 7:2. It was 20 years later. All right. So the Ark of the Covenant is brought back. It is in the possession of the children of Israel, and they don't know what to do with it because everyone dies that even gets close to touching it or messes with it. All right. So that's your little history. All right. Now the main body here is 2 Samuel. Now, David becomes king, and the ark is brought to Jerusalem. All right. Now, there's a man named Uzzah who studies the ark. Now, what he basically did is the ark was like a fall or something. So we just like, hey, don't trip over. And God smote him dead. And what it says here is that in verse 9, so David was afraid. Or actually, verse 8, David became angry with the Lord. Well, I think that's pretty funny because that was me. I was like, why? What did that guy do? Seriously, what did he do? It was like a reaction, right? It's like, you're dead, you know? It's like, you're toast, man. And I'm like, oh man, that poor guy, what did he do? He didn't do anything to deserve that, you know? So when I read this, you know, like in verse 8, I was like, oh my gosh, I did that same exact thing. I was like, hey Lord, I'm like, hey Lord, that's wrong. Oop, no, I can't say that. You really can. But I think it's wrong. Sorry, Lord. And there's David doing the same exact thing. In 6:8, he became angry with the Lord for his outburst. And I you know, kind of honest with you, I kind of still struggle with that a little bit. And then David was afraid. He said, "How can the ark of the Lord be brought to me?" So that's the thing. Now you get killed 50,000 people, and then now it's, you know, wiping out this guy, you know. So apparently it's still pretty deadly. So what happens is that it stopped here, and this guy took care of it for about 3 months, and then David saw like, hey, you know, it's cool. It didn't kill this guy, and it prospered. So David was like, all right, then I shall take it. And then David bought it. And every 6 paces they sacrificed an ox and a fatling. And David danced before the Lord with all his might. And I love that, man. David dancing, just like this guy. This guy is really happy, or a lot of coffee. I'm not sure. A lot of coffee and really happy, just out there, just dancing. And then, of course, Michael gets jealous. All right. Now, in the end, we find out the very last section here that talks about Jesus being compared to Melchizedek, that with priesthood. If it was perfect, there would be no need for Jesus to come for another priesthood. But according to the order of Melchizedek, all right. So according to the order of Melchizedek, that we are priests forever, and will dwell with the Lord forever. So in the old times, back in the day, even we got back here in Exodus 19, the Lord came down and told him, hey, I'm going to smote anyone that gets too close to the mountain. So God was unapproachable, basically. He was unapproachable. But now, since Jesus, we have a new order. We are no longer Aaron priesthoods. We're no longer getting zapped by the ark. We now can boldly go into the courtyard, into the bronze laver, the wash pot, past the bronze altar, into the holy place, and the golden menorah, the table of the showbread, the altar of incense, and into the Holy of Holies, where the stone temples, the manna, and the budding rod of Aaron is inside. And we, as the bride of Christ, not like the Israelites that were smoked and they couldn't approach the mountain, we can approach as the bride of Christ and go into the Holy of Holies. And we can produce fruit in quantity and quality and get closer to God. Thank you.